What's going on, y'all? It's your man,
How's it going, everybody? This is Jordan Paul, and you're tapped in.
Straight back to the Country Fan Mail podcast.
It's your man, it's 42 and Corey. Y'all can check out For Naptown to the World, my latest album out everywhere now.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Kountry, Country Fan Mail podcast. We're back with another episode, season 5, and I'm not even gonna say what episode it is because it's one of our special series, we're in our Encore series, where we bring back somebody who's been on the podcast before, and they've been making noise ever since. But before we get into that, I would like to introduce my beautiful, amazing, illustrious, intelligent host, co-host.
Laying it on thick there, Clue.
I got to. I'm in the proverbial doghouse right now, but we ain't gonna get into that.
It's not proverbial. What it do, Naptown?
Yes. What it do, Naptown? Get into it. We got the homie on the motherfucking ones. No, he's not on the ones and twos. He's on the mic. He's on the other mic. Homie 4200 Corey, man. Welcome back to the show, bro.
Man, thanks for having me, man. It's been a minute, man.
Yeah, man. It has. I think it was like about 2 years.
It really was.
Yeah.
3?
Yeah, I was about to say, and when we talked, I was based in Chicago at the time, so yeah.
Oh, damn, I didn't even know. See, okay, that's crazy. Yeah, man. It's definitely been a minute, man. I think because yeah, man, I was actually watching that interview earlier, and it's crazy, man. I didn't even realize literally just because I really became a huge fan of your music, and just literally just watching that growth. And I hit you up all the time and be like, yo, like, and I'm seeing that shit, you know what I'm saying?
And I love that.
Already, man. Already.
Yeah, definitely. He's a huge fan. I be listening to 4200 for all the time. But before we get into how much we listen to you, you know how we start this.
Yeah, we gotta ask you, bro. What was the first song you listened to when you woke up this morning?
Oh man, damn! I hopped in the whip and I played "Royalty" by Young Dolph.
Lord.
Man.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
What was it?
I love you.
Was that intentional, or was that just the first joint that came on?
Nah, it was intentional, man. I got a playlist called "No Longer a D-Boy."
Let's fucking go.
Fuck with that.
So,
you gotta go. You gotta.
So now, sometimes I like to dab back in the street. Yeah. What did you say?
Which one of your songs is on that playlist?
I don't got no songs on there. You feel me? It's more so music that I remember booming. You feel me? When things when it wasn't rapping, you know, we wasn't rapping.
Yeah. You know, but sometimes you got to tap back into the other side just to be like, oh, okay, it's still there. I bet.
You feel me? Yeah.
I love it.
I feel that, man. Do you remember your last answer?
No, what was it?
So it's crazy. I was listening to it. You said it was Baby Rose, and it was her song. It was her song.
You did put us on Baby Rose.
Y'all ended up listening to Baby Rose. She fired, bro.
I was like, there is something about her. Like, I mean, literally, I had never, and you know, I had heard her like she was featured on some shit, but I didn't know who she was for real until you said that. Man, yeah, she's been on the playlist ever since, bro.
Bro, she's fired, dog. Like, because when I first found her, I went on a binge, and so like, yeah, you hit me up when I was on that binge. I was like, bro, I love this, man. This is crazy. And then I put on my homeboys on it. I'm putting the streets onto it. They trying to figure out why I'm in here listening to Baby Rose. It was dark.
It'll make anybody sit down and just really have to vibe out, man. But
she got one of them voices.
Yeah, for sure, man. But shout out to Baby, shout out to all that. But enough of all that shit. We got here to be talking about you, bro. Because since the last time you thought, man, you done so fucking much. And when I tell you, I've been having this I've been having a lot of fun tying things together. It just to be like, I wonder if he knew the parallels that he said. And I mean, you said it in your verse, so I was like, he had to know. When you said, like I've been on my Jermaine Cole, and then I was like, hold up. So my wheels started turning, right? Man. So I'm gonna stop there, and I'm gonna start with the Never Find freestyle. Let's talk about that, because that's something that's come out, saying pretty more so recently since we haven't talked, and kind of like let me know why that song, and why that song, because like that wasn't expected.
Bro, I had an idea to do. I wanted to do a remix to a couple of old joints, man, because I do listen to a lot of older music. I listen to a lot of that Lou Rawls. I go back and listen to a lot of Teddy Pendergrass, all that stuff, man. Just slow down, especially when it get colder outside, to remind myself I can't be speeding. So, like, I definitely be slowing down, man. So, Nah, man, I heard that Lou Rawls, and I wrote the verse, like just challenging myself, and we was like, bro, let's shoot something to it, bro. We could have fun, challenge ourselves to shoot some cool little shots. And oddly enough, man, that song, that little clip did so much for me. Like it's the past 2 months have been a blur almost as far as since dropping that joint. But man, I had like 4 or 5 different songs to like old school joints. That was just the one that we was able to push the video out for in time before the album dropped. So
Y'all did that
other
shit.
than that, we still got more.
Yeah. As the older generation, we always appreciate when you pay homage to where you came from.
Yeah, I'm big on that too. I'm big on paying homage, man.
Let's hear that. One more.
Yeah, I fucked with it, man. I was hella impressed, and I was like, so I was tagging everybody because I was just like, and everybody that I was tagging is part of that older, crowd, and I was just like, listen, y'all got to tap in with, what I'm saying, with some of these young folks, because what y'all not gonna do is say that there ain't nobody out here making content, making good shit. That's what y'all ain't gonna do,
Right.
especially when I know some motherfuckers really out here doing it.
Literally referred to you as a rapping ass baby.
That comment, I was like, Jesus Christ. But that's literally, I was like, all right, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I ain't care, but I was just like, cool. I put YN on that shit. And she's like, she's super tapped in, family, music wise and shit like that. But anyways, the reason why I brought up Never Fine, because like I said, I was listening to that line about, J. Cole, and then it had me thinking, I was like, why is this video so reminiscent of Everybody Dies? He had on the jersey, his hair was out, and then even at the end of the video when you were just kind of vibing, I was just like, all right, maybe that's a coincidence. But then I seen the joint with you in the transit when you was on the bus. And you did the freestyle on the bus, and then I'm just like, why is this so reminiscent of False Prophets when J. Cole was on the bus? I was just like, I don't know if you meant to do that or
No,
like,
absolutely not. I ain't gonna lie to you. That's a crazy parallel. I ain't gonna lie, but because I definitely, yeah, because I definitely was in the realm of when I think of the Jermaine Cole, I stood in the rain to get you jumping. You know what I mean? When he stood out there with his tapes trying to get him to Jay-Z and all them in the rain, that's more so what I was referring to. But also, yeah, my parallels also, I've put in my hours. You feel me? I've been putting in the time. I didn't rush. I didn't ask for no handouts. You feel me? We worked and we earned our spot to get to where we at right now. So that was more so what I was referring to. But that's crazy parallels right there.
Yo, absolutely earned your spot.
Yeah, for sure, man. Like when you hear shit like that, that's on, I don't think nobody love the city like you do, like real shit. Like there's some people that I talk to from different towns and different places, and I'll be like, you're the most this or this motherfucker. You are definitely the most Indianapolis motherfucker that I know. Like, there's not a way that I would think about that motherfucker.
For real, have my chest swelling. Like, yeah, I used to listen.
Yeah.
That motherfucker, 30 post, bro. She was like, yeah.
Don't do that. He's lying. I mean, I have like fangirled a little bit.
Yeah, nah. I mean, that's the point, man. That was really what we was going for as far as like taking pride in it. Because, like I said in some previous stuff, man, where we at as a city is really dope. Like, I don't know how tapped in y'all are with sports, but like our sports are like our heart, right? So like, and I think that's with any major city. It's like when your sports having a good time, the city's having a great time.
Right,
bro. And so right now the Pacers are being a good team.
Happy.
Man, and the Pacers play the Lakers tonight for in-season tournament, which nobody else cares about. Everybody says it doesn't matter. To us, it's everything, right?
That's all that matters.
Yeah, So man, like the time and everything is really dope. Yeah.
For sure. And that's something else I really like about when you talk about your city and you talk about, saying your state, you don't do it in a way about shitting on other people's places. I know a lot of other people try to make it seem like, saying what we got going on is the baddest and y'all ain't fucking with us.
Well,
one
time that he said he's from the west side of the best city ever? And
he's from East Side.
Yeah. From the east side of the best city on earth. Yes, ma'am.
From the east side of the best city ever. And I was like, I'm gonna let him have it.
But it's like, but to say that your city is the best isn't saying that other city is the worst. It's like, sound pride. And that's what I liked about it. You know what I'm saying? And then like you reached out to different generations on the album too. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
What's I can't think of the big homie's name, but he did the spoken word on your joint.
Murdoch, Anthony Murdoch.
Murdoch, yeah.
Fire, bro. That's my brother, man. And what's crazy about that is like, okay, so I'm 22, he's 25. We got Skip on there, we got Maxie on there, and y'all say I'm so Indiana, man. Those guys are more Indiana than me, so it gets wicked out here. But but the cool thing about the project is the versatility. The age gaps are closed on that thing.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like there's people younger than me on there. We got 17, we got a 16.
I was on
we
the
got guys
on
the hot box. It was me, Sirius Black, Fox the Legend, and Jeremiah Stokes, all older than me, all pushing about 40.
Yeah.
And I get on them about it because they old, but man, they OG. They was doing this Indiana shit and talking about being Indian, doing it in their own way for the longest before me. And so I always respected the levels of the game, and I felt like, yeah, sure, I can try to aim to be a Kountry. I can try to aim to be a J. Cole, but I have to respect the game. I got to get through the city first. What I look like trying to skip steps. That's how I always perceived it. So with indie, man, I looked at the indie guys. I said, these are the guys that's doing the show. These are the guys that's really making shit shake. And I want to get like them. And in response, they loved that I pay homage, and they showed me mad love. They never tried to tag me on no shit. They welcomed me in because of how I move. And that's the entirety of how we went to make the project. And it turned out as a reflection of everything we felt.
That says a lot about you, man, because I don't really feel like there's too many cats that are, relatively new into the game that are gonna get that much overwhelmingly respect from people who've been doing it for a while, for real. Like, that's just, especially not in hip hop, it's just not something that we see. Like, you'll see one big homie or maybe two big homies sponsor one cat, but you're not gonna see a clan of motherfuckers being like, yo, nah, up, you know what I'm saying? And so it's like, I heard that and I felt that on the tape, and like every song felt like it was just like it felt like almost every song was made in a room full of people, with the exception of maybe with the exception of the last track. But it seemed like if there was a room full of people, everybody was quiet as a bitch, and it was just like, shut up. You know what I'm saying? Lights down, and I would do this shit type. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, like, was that what you were going for, or was that actually what happened? Was there a room full of people?
Man, I mean, we had sessions like the barbershop skit, which was probably my favorite session alongside the hot box, because the hot box, I like to be spontaneous. I don't like people to know what I'm up to. So I didn't send them, those guys, a beat or anything. I just told them to pull up. And oddly enough, I was able to get all three of them at the same time. So it was just like the timing of everything was just perfect. I got all three of them at the same time. They pulled up. They thought it was going to be some like hook, verse, hook. Nah. I was like, we finna sit here and we finna write a verse together and act like it's a blunt. We finna share it. And so we went in there and did that.
Each prolific.
Yeah, man. It was fun, man. And the cool thing about each song, man, is it came together naturally. I had an outline for how I wanted it to sound. I had a theme as far as it being a party, because I knew that was a very relatable, very simple concept. And in terms of, we speak in a language on there that's very Naptown. You feel me? So somebody from somewhere else may not completely understand, but you can get the gist that
you get the gist. Yeah, you be like, okay, they definitely got their own lingo.
Yeah. I feel like it's enough. I'm talking enough shit on there. I'm talking in enough ways where it's like, all right, this dude talking this shit, and it can give you that type of energy. But man, it was just natural, man. Every session was its own thing. I had people come in who didn't record a thing, but I had them come in because I wanted their energy. Because one thing about me is I see that city in one way, and it's my way. I can't, if I'm going to paint a picture and say this is for Naptown to the world, as like, this is my love letter to Naptown, but if you're from anywhere else, you're more welcome to enjoy it. I have to make sure I'm painting this picture right. So that means I have to get in other perceptions.
Wow.
And me, I listen, you listen to Hold On For Dear Life. I didn't have features like that. I'm not a feature guy. Like, I'm very intentional with my art. So when I allow somebody in, they have to be bringing something to the table that I feel like I can't do. You feel me? And I feel like I can do just about everything some days. So, yeah, man, having everybody in there was really dope. And it definitely transcended the way that the project sounded, because I couldn't have done that shit by myself.
Yeah, that's a hell of a way, to put it. Cause that was something I did think about, on Hold On For Dear Life, or even the tape before that. There wasn't too many, you aren't feature heavy. I think you might have even had maybe 1 to 2 features between the 2 tapes at the most.
Yeah.
Like,
too.
Yeah. And so I was, anytime that you see an artist drop well, for one, you know, this tape isn't just full of features. I don't want to say that, but when you see an artist that never has features drop a tape with features, it's either gonna be one or two things. Either they expecting people to hold them, or they're just like, "Nigga, you better come on, you better come out to my level, because if you gonna be on it." And that's what I felt like. I felt like everybody rose to the occasion. I mean, homie said,
Everybody did.
"Glad I made it on the tape." You know what I'm saying? And I felt like it was
Nah.
it was solid. So
Yeah. Good. One thing about me, bro, like I said, like I pay a lot of homage, I pay a lot of respect. I'm very humble. I try to stay very humble and even kill through it all, highs, lows, whatever the case may be. But man, those guys, and I mean just my city in general, they never hesitate to let me know how much they love me. Like, and then that's something I don't take for granted. Like they call me all types of crazy ass names, like Mayor Eastside, Eastside this, Eastside that, and it's a beautiful thing, man, to have people believe in you like that, you know. And having those guys on that project was just really dope, man. Like even still looking back at it, like Murdoch, like having Anthony Murdoch on that project, he's somebody who's an integral part of the business side of Indiana right now. Like he's a professor. He's a professor at Butler. He owns multiple businesses. He stands behind so many things, and for him to not only believe in me as an artist, but he's also a part of what creative collective, Some Baby Family. He dove right into that. He invested in this project. That's why he's an executive producer as well. He invested in this project as far as mixing. He put up money. He said, "Bro, let's do it." You feel me? And he's been rocking with me for a minute, man. And so, like I said, it's very special. Just very special stuff, man.
That's super dope. So the hometown embrace is still there. Have you been doing any touring? Tell us all about how you're being received everywhere else and what that's giving you, how it's fueled.
Yeah. This past year, man, with because I released this last month, and earlier on in the summer, I released my follow up to my 4020 Summers. So 4020 Summers 2. And
it was crazy.
That thing did its thing as far as outside the city. And one thing about me is I love the idea that some people have as far as Indiana goes, because we're a shell of a city. We're finding ways to start booming. Our music scene is cooking. It's something happening, right? But still, there's the you gotta leave, and I think that happens to any artist wherever you at. You gotta leave. It's just is what it is. You can come back later, but you gotta get out there and adventure. And 2024 is the year for that. I've been doing this by myself, setting up interviews, doing press runs, putting together rollouts, doing all the studio stuff, popping up at events, shaking hands, kissing babies, all that stuff. I'm just now getting the manager because I feel like, all right, it's getting a little too big for me to do by myself.
Yeah.
You feel me? So I had a lot of opportunities to get one. And just now, I made that move with a really good one who has a reputation. So 2024 is that year of we out of here. And that's why the project itself is such an ode to my city, because I'm well aware of it. You feel me? Like, I'm very confident in the fact that, all right, we got something cooking, man. Let me let them know that they're not forgotten. That I love this shit, because you see people catch a little momentum and it's gone. That Indiana is no longer a thing.
Mm-hmm.
and like I say this all the time. You don't have to. Nobody has to. You don't owe us anything. You know what I mean? You feel me? We push you and and all that stuff. But me, I got to. That's just how I am.
Man, damn, I fuck with that. That's some real shit. Go ahead, baby.
It's just something else about growing up, going away, doing something, and then coming home to your city and trying to make a difference.
Yeah.
Like,
I feel that in a real way, being somebody who's been away from my city for so long. I always try to make sure that I put on for my city, because I never wanted to look weird, or I was going to make sure that, like, I make it very clear where I came from. Cause I never wanted to, and I always make sure I put on artists from back home, because when I pull back up, I don't want people to be like, you ain't lived here in 10 years. Okay, I ain't lived here in 10 years, but everywhere else that I know, everybody been like, that's the nigga from Charlotte.
right.
Because I know where the fuck I'm from. Like, I ain't out here like, people out here in Sacktown fuck with me, but I don't get it, nigga. I don't know when the Kings play. You know what I'm saying? Like, I fuck with them.
No,
but
I feel that. I lived in Indianapolis for 17 years. Like,
you didn't go to a Pacers game?
I went to a lot of Pacers games. I went to a lot of Colts games. too. I don't do this to me.
Nah, I was just
I went to a lot of Butler games. Like, I mean, like I celebrate where I am,
but she
but
was always a Cali.
but I was always a Cali girl. And
That's what,
you can take the girl out of California, but you can never take the California out the girl. And I let them know that.
I'm hyped to see that. I'm hyped to see that move with you, man. I'm hyped to see that you know, to see everywhere that you go, and you already know if you end up anywhere near this motherfucker,
Hey.
like you already know the whole goddamn state is nothing but a 6-hour drive, literally. So, you know what I'm saying, we definitely gonna do our thing. And also I wanted to know because I want to talk real quick about the is it 42K summer, right? 42K summer 2, the one that just dropped.
4200 summers. 4200 summers 2. Yeah, 42S2 is what we've been calling it.
So I want to talk about that, but I also want to know, like, how did your mom receive the project, man? Because I really love how, like, you always make mention of your mom, and like even with the note with you can't duck, you would just like, my mom love this beat, like you could just tell
Bro,
that shit. Yeah. So how she received the project, bro?
my mama, man, after I talked to you, dog, my mama went and got a tattoo of my album, Hold On For Dear Life. She got the HO40 over her eye. My mama is badass, cause
Hey, shout
my
out
mama is.
shout out to Cole.
Okay, shout out to Cobra, man. I'm Cobra's son, man. And man, see, and I love that because that's I mean, to get just a glimpse of what we had next, man. It's the story, man. I think I feel like it's about that time. I feel like I've showed motherfuckers that I can rap. It's about that time to dive into that. But that's for later times, man. When she heard that, she like thoroughbred. My mama raised the God, my daddy raised the Lord. She cried, man. Because the first time she got to hear that for real, I performed it. So I performed it before we had our music festival Shrees. And man, she sat there and cried in the middle of the stuff. My grandma, she hates that shit. But she was mad. But my mom was crying like, boy, that's right there hard. Yeah. But my mama love just about everything I do, man. My mama, I'm from Post. She's from Post. You feel me? So she sees it as I've accomplished more than her at this age. And so she's always everywhere trying to be with everything. If she could, if I let her, she would be my manager. But she don't know nothing about this stuff. So so we don't let her get too deep in it. But aside from that, she co-signs everything I do. She still gets, but yeah, man, that's my dog, man.
Like that, like
bro, it's a blessing.
You like,
bro, because I see a rap. Especially like we had to Hold On For Dear Life listening party. My mama came in the room and she like right after we finished, and she told her room, she was like, "And this is my son. I can tell y'all right now, I can vouch everything in this moment true." You know what I mean? It ain't like I couldn't lie if I wanted to. Yeah, she gonna get me.
that ain't how that happened, boy.
Yeah. I couldn't lie. I think I had an interview one time. I said the wrong year. She was like, "Boy, that wasn't when that happened." I mean, she got on my ass. I was like, man. So yeah, I couldn't lie if I wanted to, man. She gonna get on me, but yeah, that's my dog, man.
Man, that's really dope, man. Because man, I like I said, I notice it, and I see, saying how much that means to you, and as it should, and as you were saying that, she sees that you accomplished more than she did. I feel like that's every parent, has that hope. So it's like as it has the hope to be like you want your child to be better than you, even if you were. So I want you to be greater, greater type shit. So it's like that's some real shit, and staying on that same project, man. What I liked about that project is that it was so short, but it was so complete. Like you had your turn up tracks, you had your riding track, you had your love songs. I was just like, puppy love is my shit. Like for real. But yeah, like kind of tell me the process of making that and how it led you into this to your album drop.
My homeboy said something I really liked a lot. He was like, in order for me to get for Naptown to the world, it was necessary for me to have the 4200 Summers projects. Like as far as like sonically testing different things, like seeing where my range goes, seeing what I can do with my voice, seeing what I can do with different flows. Because I'm a stickler for like I like to try shit that that a normal motherfucker would like. I love unconventional hip hop.
Yeah.
Like I love like MF Doom did it a lot where he would rap a bar, but he wouldn't rap it right on beat.
It would be off like really ever so slightly. You'd be like, did he
Yeah.
But it was still a hit.
Yeah, but so like little stuff like that, just using different words, using different patterns and stuff like that was like really big going into that project. But what I would say is it was really I loved the energy on the bouncing. Like I know Ducking was like such a cool ass record because I was recording that shit by myself. I heard the beat. I started writing. My homeboys was in the room, and I was like, "Man, y'all not gonna believe what I just did." And they was like, "Play it," and it just spiraled. It was a snowball effect, bro. And it just built up from. I mean, before it ever dropped, that song was doing crazy. And shout out to MacWap from TDE who actually picked that song up, man. And he's like, man, it reminded him of when Kendrick and them started, and it was just like a hell of a compliment. But man, Puppy Love is a really dope song because that's about my girl I got right now, man. And like last 4200 Summers, man, I made another love song. And me, man, my Fox the Legend who's on the Hot Box, man, he be telling me I'm too thugged out because I don't be performing those. But I've been trying. He's like, man, you got to do Puppy Love, bro. The fans want Puppy Love. I'm like, but I don't. He's like, but it's what the fans want. So we go back and forth, man. So I did Puppy Love at Streets, man, and it slapped. So he was right, and we started adding it in more sets. But yeah, Puppy Love is a special record. Thoroughbred was a special record because like I lost my pops when I was 12, and one thing I'm big on is my pops didn't own no land or no stocks. You feel me? He didn't leave us behind nothing but this gangbanging shit. So I represent it a little different than everybody else. You know, everybody else, they do it for whatever they do it for, but I do it as a continuation of my father's legacy type shit. And aside from that, man, we had an outro Hotter Than we had my boy King Dier, who's attending JSU right now, bro. He killed that. He was on the last 4200 Summers. Yeah. and I love his voice, the way he rap and the way he talks, two different things. And I love when somebody can not code switch, but you feel me, bring that type of projection to a record. Like his voice is very special. And so, I mean, like that was a really cool project. I think it really fit the summer well, and it did what it's supposed to do. Definitely.
It definitely did. I definitely do feel like it fit the summer, and I like that. You know, I love how much you talk about your team and your homies and stuff, and you see it in the videos. Like I was crying, like I had to keep watching. Heaven only knows the beginning of that shit. I replayed that like 5 times before I could even start the video because I was just like, shout out to my Uncle Man, like, yo, I was crying, and I was just like, because I could hear what they were saying, but I was just like, yo, let him finish. Like,
they annoying as hell, man. They annoying as hell. But I tell you what, though, one thing I love, bro, is the more success I find in this music, the more fluffery I find. Like, and that's a Naptown shit, probably fluffery, bro. Like people will boost your head. People will be super nice to you. They'll see you on something, but I need to have assholes around me to keep me grounded. Like that's just how I am. So like I love them to death because they not finna sugarcoat them with me. They're not finna act no different because they see me on something. So like even like with basketball, like I love basketball because I can't hang around the guys that I hung around growing up like I want to. You know what I mean? It just can't happen. You feel me? And they know it, and that's why they say do your thing, and that's why we keep our distance. But I can't hang around you like that as much as I love you. But we get the chance to hoop together, and they don't call me Corey; they call me Chauncey, and that's what I love. You know, it goes back to it takes me back to being grounded and being human. When people try to make the persona of Corey so separate. So yeah, man, that was hilarious though, man. When I got that video, it was hilarious because we didn't know he was putting it in there.
Yeah, that was super dope, man. And I like that, you know, that clear parallel, you know, the line that has to be drawn. It's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, listen, I'm still here. Love is still here. I just got to go do this. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And also they love you for that and they respect you for that. You can definitely see it. Like that's something that it might happen more than actually is being. I'm not gonna say that I wish it happened more. It might happen a lot more than it's probably being televised. I'll say that. So
absolutely
happening for sure.
Absolutely. Or a lot of times, you know, I mean, we just want everybody to be happy. Especially when you do this stuff and you've had a hell of a story that includes a lot of people. You want everybody that was along the process to eat with you, but you have to be willing to make sacrifices. And oftentimes, that's really just time spent with people. You know, it's you just got to limit the time spent. You got to make sure that when y'all hanging, it's very intentional. It's not just we just kicking it and smoking it because I don't know what you got going on. I ain't been kicking it with you like that because I got something. When you working on something, and I tweeted this shit last night, man. Me and my homeboys are working on something. I ain't got time to just kick it with you before. It doesn't make sense. Like we have something, and it's not like an idea no more. It's the wheels is moving, and so it's like like we just had no time for it. And when you do it that way, it makes a lot more sense. It makes a lot more sense for people. If you just duck off on people and you just act big. That's where the disconnect happens. That's where you get. That's where you get the. He don't come around the hood no more. He don't do this. That only happens to you when you're not going about it, taking the steps the right way.
I think Problem said it best on his track. I think it was off of Smoke Break. He says, I can't have no conversation till you get your mind right. Can't have your dark flame dim in my light. It was him, Snoop Dogg talking on it, and it was him talking to his homie like, listen, I know you want to make these moves. I know you see me, but right now, like, I can't do that. Like, you're doing some other shit. I feel you, no love lost, but I gotta go this way. Like, if you haven't heard that track, make sure you check it out, man.
I definitely do. I definitely got to check out that Problem, man, because did he not just?
He's been doing a lot.
Right. He dropped like a double project.
He dropped he dropped the double project, the Compton Story, and then he has Jason Bourne before that. Like, and then the Compton Story, the movie is on Tubi. Shout out to that. Make sure you check that out.
That's fire. I didn't even know that. That's fire.
It's a very interesting story.
Yeah, it's super.
I gotta check it out.
I've watched
I feel
it
like
so
I've watched it so many times.
It's real good, man.
Like I just be supporting y'all. Like, yeah, okay. Oh, okay. What is this? Shake something, ho. Shake something.
Somebody said that's the most. Somebody said that's the most respectful twerk song they ever heard.
Why do I keep hearing this song? I was like, well, it's because I keep listening to Bring Him Out. And she was like, I ain't heard Bring Him Out one time. I was like,
I haven't heard. He's playing the same song every time I get in the car. He's like, shake something, ho. Like, where do you
think? Bring Him Out came out of my. I took my AirPods out, connected to the Bluetooth. Anyway, love this way. Hey man, bringing everything all together, man. Just real quick, let everybody know, what I'm saying, what they can look forward to, with you, what I'm saying, coming out, where they can find you, and just what I'm saying, a quick message to the world.
Man, like I said, I'm 4220 Corey. From 42nd and Post Road. That's why the 4200 is right next to the middle name. So I'm never too far away from home. I just released my sophomore album for Naptown to the World, which is a love letter from me to my city. But if you're from anywhere else, then you're more than welcome to enjoy. I have a lot of stuff in store, man. 2024 is really a big move for me, man. I made a lot of connections this year. So looking at 2024 is going to be a movie, or at least I'm expecting as much. It's going to be a great time. And if there's any message that I'd love to leave to the world, is, stay patient, stay kind, stay vigilant, and be on your P's and Q's. Stay hungry, stay consistent, and it's December, so finish strong.